What up, y'all? It's Jackson here, ready to dive into another video, but for this video, we're gonna need a costume change. Alright, here we go. We got our costume change. I'm rocking the Dak jersey today. In today's video, I'm gonna be telling you what it's like to be a Cowboys fan outside of Dallas, Texas. So you're gonna need some background information for this one. So I live in Utah, which, as you can guess, is not Dallas, Texas. But my mom grew up in Texas. I lived in Texas for 7 years, so I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. But today I'm going to talk to you about why it just sucks, why it's so terrible, and it's just miserable to be a Cowboys fan outside of Texas. It is awful, okay? So how this thought entered my mind on Friday. It was, since the Super Bowl's tomorrow, on Friday, they were like, hey, wear your NFL jersey to school. So I wore my Dak jersey to school, and everyone was making fun of me. Everyone was mocking how the Cowboys can't make it past the wild card and how they have terrible postseason success. What they're saying true? Yeah, probably. The Cowboys can't make it past the first round. Let's be honest. But even Keegan-Michael Key made a joke that the Cowboys haven't made it to an NFC Championship game since 1994. I want to say when Jerry Jones was a spry 81 years old. So the Detroit Lions have made it to more NFC Championship games than the Dallas Cowboys in the past 30 years. The Detroit Lions! It's terrible. But anyway, so here is why it sucks to be a Cowboys fan. It's great when you live in Texas. I loved it when I lived in Texas because everyone agreed with you. Everyone could mourn with you because your team could never succeed. Right? But then I moved to Utah and everybody hates the Cowboys. It's like the Lakers in the NBA. I don't know if the Lakers are a good example, but it's like either you're a fan of them or you despise them and want them to just die. And in Utah, it's the latter one. Everybody just hates the Cowboys. Hates them. I had two Packers fans at school that were just letting me hear it all day. And I heard somebody make this comparison. I can't remember who it was, but I love it. The Cowboys are the Kardashians of the NFL. Think about it. They're the Kardashians of the NFL. They're always in the news. They're always in the headlines, whether that's for good things or bad things. Everything they do is tracked by the media. And the media yells at them for whatever they do. One misstep, and Stephen A. Smith comes on First Take the next morning and just cusses them out. Okay? It makes me mad to see if any other team. Alright, so we'll take this for example. The Eagles got blown out by the 49ers, correct? So did the Cowboys. Both of those games were supposed to be close. Were people mad at the Eagles after they got blown out by the 49ers? Yeah, they were. Because it was supposed to be a lot closer than that. Were people mad at the Cowboys when they got blown out by the 49ers? That level of anger took it to another level. I mean, I just think... But also, this video is getting mad at the media because here's something interesting I realized a few days ago. Cowboys have won 5 Super Bowls. They've won 5 Super Bowls. The 49ers have also won 5. I believe the Steelers have won 6, and so have the Patriots. Alright, so there's 2 teams that have won more Super Bowls than the Dallas Cowboys. Steelers, Patriots. Patriots missed the playoffs. They were terrible. They had like 4 wins or something. The Steelers got the 7th seed and got embarrassed by Josh Allen and the Bills. So, everybody thinks in Dallas you have a high expectation. Obviously you do. Because they're like, and you could argue that it's different because, Jerry Jones built those great teams back in the 90s with Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin. But then, so now why can't he have success? But it's the same thing with the Patriots. Robert Kraft drafted Tom Brady. Bill Belichick drafted Tom Brady. He won 6 Super Bowls with them. He's the greatest player of all time. Robert Kraft has owned the team for forever. Jared Jones has owned the team for forever. And the Cowboys are the ones getting yelled at. Nobody cares that if the Cowboys were this bad, oh boy, I'd never hear the end of it. I might quit being a Cowboys fan if they were that bad. I just think, and part of this is that I'm mad at the ownership, I guess. I'm mad at what Jared Jones has done. I'm mad that don't get me wrong, he has done some great things. But his relationship with his coaches and his players, I think it's just weird. He has you saw his relationship with Jimmy Johnson. They did not like each other, and I think it was great that they, became friends. Jerry finally put him in the Ring of Honor and all of that. But then Jerry Jones, when he bought the team, he came in and immediately fired Tom Landry. And now, Tom Landry's a heck of a coach. And he just came in and said, get out of here. Which I don't think is fair. I love Tom Landry. But I just think he fired Jason Garrett. That was the right thing to do. Jason Garrett was not it in Dallas. You hired Mike McCarthy. I liked the hire at the time. He'd won a Super Bowl in Green Bay and whatnot. But he didn't live up to the hype. He's a great regular season coach. Phenomenal. Cowboys are a phenomenal regular season team. 3 straight 12-5 seasons, I think. So the 36 wins over the past 3 years, 1 playoff win in the past 3 years. That was Tom Brady's last game last year in the wild card round in Tampa. So it's frustrating to see, and I think Micah Parsons said this on his podcast, that whenever the Cowboys lose, they get ripped apart, no matter what team it is against. No matter if it's the reigning Super Bowl champ or the worst team in the league, everybody's going to hate them for losing. The only team to never lose a game was the 1973 Miami Dolphins. Patriots came close, but they didn't do it. They lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. So it's hard for me to... It's tough being a Cowboys fan, especially outside of Dallas. Like here in Utah, the most popular team, I would probably say either the 49ers. 49ers are pretty popular. Seahawks or Broncos. There are some Cowboys fans here and there, and I love Cowboys fans. But, there's some Cowboys fans here and there. But 49ers fans, I have a 49ers hat hanging up back there, but that's signed by Steve Young. And I did make a promise. I will wear that on Monday to school if the 49ers win the Super Bowl tomorrow. But I just think that Cowboys need postseason success. Mike McCarthy needs to be gone. Dak needs to be gone. Dak cannot handle the bright lights of the Big D. Stephen A. Smith talked with DeMarcus Lawrence when he was on First Take earlier this week. He said, this is what he said. He's like, all right, this is not including you, DeMarcus, but some of your teammates cannot handle the bright lights and the pressure that comes for playing, the pressure that comes with playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And I completely agree. Dak is not fit to play for the Dallas Cowboys. He can't handle that pressure. He can't handle that, those bright lights. The spotlight is always on him because he's America's quarterback. Some people are saying that, and then even Emmitt Smith on the Unsportsmanlike podcast earlier this week talked about how it's been disappointing. And it has. Disappointing is an understatement. When you are one of the most storied franchises in sports history, I'm pretty sure you're the most expensive franchise. It's around the world in sports. More expensive than the Los Angeles Lakers and Real Madrid, any sports team on the entire earth, and you have not made it to a conference championship game in 30 years? Your quarterbacks since then have been Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, and I believe there was maybe 1 or 2 guys between after Aikman. Maybe 3. But I can't think of them off the top of my head. And then they're so close. Cowboys are so close, but they fall apart in the playoffs. they just collapse. And it's so disappointing and frustrating that as a fan, I can't do anything about it. I can just sit here and let my anger out on you guys, which I feel bad for. Alright? I love the idea that Jeff Saturday brought to my mind a few weeks ago of Dak going to Atlanta. I think that would be great for the Falcons. I think that would be great. They need a quarterback. They don't have one. Atlanta's not like a big market. And Dak, I feel like he would succeed there. But then, I don't know. We need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. Do we try to go get Kirk Cousins or Matthew Stafford in free agency? I don't know. I just think, do we draft a quarterback? Do we try to trade for one? It's tough being a Cowboys fan. That's the gist of this video. That if you do not live in the DFW area and you are a Cowboys fan, I feel for you, and I am sorry that you are a fan of the Kardashians of the NFL. Because Jerry Jones brought all this fame to Dallas, to the Dallas Cowboys. When he bought the Cowboys, it was like, I don't know how much he bought them for, but they're expensive now, so he's going to make a lot of money when he sells them. He might never sell them. It might be not until he, moves on. But he brought all this expectation. Troy Aikman and Roger Staubach. All the championships they won between the two of them. All the great players that have passed through the halls at that stadium. I know AT&T Stadium's not that old. I doubt Troy Aikman ever played in that stadium. But, I mean, I've never seen the Cowboys make it past the second round in my lifetime. Never. It was like 15 years before I was born was the last time they made it to the NFC Championship game. That was the last time they won a Super Bowl. Alright. Oh my gosh. It hurts as a Cowboys fan to watch them fail time and time again in the playoffs. And in big games. Not just the playoffs, in the regular season in big games. Losses to Buffalo, to Miami, to Philly, to San Francisco, to, that's 4 of our 5 losses. Who was the other one too? Oh, Cardinals. That's just inexcusable. But we never show up against good teams, whether that's in the postseason or the regular season. Even the preseason, we don't show up. Like, quite literally, Dak doesn't show up to the game. But it's annoying. And I don't know, this thought came to me yesterday, and I had to pour out my feelings to somebody. How it's terrible being a fan of the Dallas Kardashians. And thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.